every day on the WagerTalk YouTube channel with Teddy Covers. He's going to come in and answer all of your NFL questions. So I would like to get out of here in 35 minutes today, you guys. I got to hit the road, go help my dad with some stuff, and it's my mom's birthday. So I deserve all the likes for being here instead of at brunch with my mother, because we are here for you. That's what WagerTalk does. We're here to make you better bettors. John Murray, as if seeing you once a week wasn't enough for me, you've been so kind to fill in on Sunday since Chase Michelson left. Do we have your replacement yet, or can we expect to see you for over, what do we have, 9 weeks left of the regular season?
There's 9 more weeks of this nonsense? Oh, my God.
Oh, that's just a regular season.
Oh, just a regular season? I won't be able to do it next week. You know I'm going to be in Virginia meeting my new nephew, but I will try to do it the following week. What is that, the 17th? I'll do it the 17th.
Love that
that's what
for
you
us.
want.
If you guys are happy that John Murray's here, please say that in the comment section. We all appreciate him.
Or say otherwise.
Schedule.
Or say otherwise. If you're not liking it, maybe say, hey, thumbs down. That could
thumbs
also
down.
good feedback.
We want somebody else. We riot. If only we could have Art DeCesar guys on Saturday and Sunday. Our life would be very joyous. John Murray, you gave me a look behind the counter on Thursday when I was covered in face makeup, and you decided not to, participate. You decided to opt out, and I'm very done with people opting out. So that's a whole nother story for another day. You gave me the Browns, the Broncos, and the Falcons. You also gave me the over in the Miami game and the over in the LA Rams game. Have you seen any buyback? Have you seen anything interesting as far as those 5 sharp plays go?
You know, I noticed, Kelly, you didn't mention that I gave you the Jets. Why did you skip over that?
I forgot you gave me the Jets. And also I was already on the Jets.
I
forgot about that. Okay. Yes. I was already on the Jets.
So let's talk about the Denver-Baltimore game, because that game has been probably the most interesting betting we've seen all week. They were on Baltimore at the beginning of the week. Then Kelly and I recorded that show on Thursday. The money was all coming in on Denver on Wednesday and Thursday, because there was some talk that maybe Lamar Jackson is sick, maybe he's hurt. Since then, the money has come back in on the Ravens. So be careful with Kelly's beloved Denver Broncos, her favorite quarterback, Bo Nix. I can tell you guys that one's been a seesaw now, and the money's come back in on Baltimore to roll the Broncos today after a loss.
Very, very interesting there. John, at any point in time, do you think were you guys mainly moving with the market? Did you guys take bets yourself? Or are you trying to protect yourself in a teaser spot?
Not worried about teasers because of our teaser pricing, but we definitely did. We took money on both sides of it. We took money at +9. We took money at as low as -7.5. We took a big bet -9.5 early in the week. So there's a lot of different numbers we've taken bets on at this game, and it's just kind of been volleyed back and forth. I think it's all because of the 2-time MVP and his status for today's game, but we're certainly expecting Lamar Jackson to be a full go today.
I am going to be cheering for the Denver Broncos to win that one outright, at least for survivor purposes. Let's go down
Wait a minute. What about me and you partners?
Are we still
in
using Splash?
Are
we using Ravens and Splash? We didn't quite. That's who's locked in right now. We did. But
we did lock it in.
The good thing about Splash is you can change it up until kickoff. And I kind of want to change it, but we're going to get into this. Josh D has a question. He wants to know about Dominic wants to know, who do we like in Survivor? John Murray and I, through all of my reluctantness, we were playing the Saints. I did not want to go Bengals. You did not want to go Bengals. Joff didn't want to go Bengals, and neither did Chris.
No, I didn't really want to go Bengals. I didn't really like the way we landed on the pick. We don't need to get into that in front of your audience.
You don't want me to tell everybody I flipped the Google coin?
Yeah, go ahead and tell everybody. This is Kelly's methodology. We flipped a coin. Literally, we flipped a coin, a virtual coin. And we have, because it's only, we have the Saint, great way to pick. We have the Saints in the big contest in town, the Circa Survivor contest. We currently have the Ravens in our Splash Sports Survivor. I'm fine with leaving that. I think the Ravens are going to win pretty easily today, but I thought the Ravens were going to blow out the Raiders in week 2, Kelly, after they lost. Think back to that game. They lose to Kansas City on Thursday night. They get 3 extra days to prepare. They go home to play the Raiders. and they lose. If you can explain that, I'd love to hear it.
No, I can't. I just know a lot of people got knocked out of Survivor by that Raiders team. Josh G wants to know, did the Sharps come in on Dallas once it hit 3.5?
Mm-hmm. Not really. It's a good question. Not really. We just continue to write all this money on Atlanta. I think it's a very strange game for us here. We're going to need the Cowboys like fairly big. One of our biggest needs of the morning looks like Dallas. I think it looks like our third biggest need of the morning slate here behind number one is by far the New York Giants at home
the
against
New York Giants. Good grief.
They're at home against the football team, the Washington Commanders, and then it looks like our second need of the morning is going to be the Miami Dolphins. But after that, Dallas. And to answer this guy's question, it's very unusual for me to be sitting here an hour before kickoff and say, "Boy, we really need the Cowboys today." That's a new one, especially when they're playing Atlanta. Like maybe if they were playing Kansas City or somebody like that, I'd expect to need Dallas. But surprised how much we need Dallas for this morning.
And I'm happy to hear that you guys need the Dolphins, so that makes me happy. I have a Dolphins +6 in pocket.
Kelly, I'm interrupting you. I'm interrupting you. I've been telling you this for weeks. You're so happy when you're on the same side as the book. How did the book do in October?
Not good.
We got killed.
Not good.
So are you sure? Are you sure? We really did not do well in the NFL in October. I know all the books, every sportsbook guy I've talked to said the same thing. So be careful if you're out there just saying, "Oh, the public is on side A. I'm going to load up the gun on side B." That's not a good idea. That's not a good way to bet. Don't do that.
So speaking of Survivor, Chris Thurston said should we drop our nuts on the table and take Titans? They're a 3-point favorite. Doc6498 wants to know, how do the Titans -3 look money-wise? There's some movement on the odds screen to 3.5.
I feel like too many references to nuts in our group chat. I think too many. Like every week, it's like, hey, let's drop our nuts and do that. I'll say this: there's some movement with the quarterback situation in this game. May and Will Levis. There's some possibility they were both going to be in. Possibility they were both going to be out. So the number has moved around a lot. We do need New England. We took some big bets on Tennessee when they were -3. And that's what puts us up to -3.5 even money on the Titans. I didn't want to use the Titans in Survivor. I mean, I think they'll probably win today. I actually used Titans in another contest, but I just didn't think it was a good idea to use Titans in Survivor. I mean, do you really want to put your whole entry on the line this late in the season on one of the worst teams in the league? I didn't like that idea, but
no, thank you.
Thanks. All right. Somehow John Murray got logged out. VR got logged in. Gotta love Sunday morning technical difficulties. So we'll get John Murray back here in a minute to finish up with him and go from there. If you guys have any questions in the chat, if our producers can mute VR's mic, that would be amazing. Thank you, guys. What a disaster. So let's get back to the questions from the audience. We'll get John Murray logged back in here in a few minutes, and then we'll get to VR, and then we will take Prez's questions. Any questions you guys have regarding a game, Prez is going to answer them for you, similar to he does every single day on WagerTalk today. Guys, do we have John Murray logged back in? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call him. And see, please log back in. Log back in. Let's see if we can get John to get finished up with that look behind the counter, kind of talk about some more of these games. Biggest needs so far, Cowboys, New York Giants, Dolphins. Sorry about that, John Murray. A little technical difficulty on this beautiful Sunday morning. 5 more minutes and you can watch your beloved soccer game. And John is muted. There we go. Okay. All right.
Don't apologize to me.
I'm about over it. We're halfway through football season and I am just going to lose it. Okay, let's go through some of the rest of these questions we have from our audience as far as those go. And Anything in the afternoon slate? I know obviously you guys have some stuff in the morning that ties into the afternoon, that ties into the primetime game, but any needs so far in the afternoon slate?
Yeah, it definitely looks like we're going to be rooting for Jacksonville. I think this was originally the Sunday night game, and they moved it to the afternoon to clear the runway for Colts Vikings. I don't understand that really, but that's what they did, I guess. And everyone's on Philadelphia. Philadelphia -7. Philadelphia in moneyline parlays. Jacksonville looks like a pretty big need for us. Outside of that, a lot of sharp money on the Rams, and there's a lot of sharp money on the over in that Rams-Seattle game. No Metcalf for Seattle today. Good two-way action in the Chicago-Arizona game. Seeing money coming in on both sides of that one. And then, of course, Kelly's favorite, you got your pros and your Joes. That's what the talking heads call it, a pros versus Joes game. Detroit, Green Bay, best game of the week. The public is on Detroit, and, of course, the wise guys are on Green Bay. That's why you see that number go down to 2.5 flat. Right
now. The wise guys are on Green Bay. That is my best bet. I have a nice CLV trophy there, John Murray. 3.5 with that one.
You're complaining that you have 3.5 and the line went to 2.5. You should be happy.
No, not at all. And in fact, I think I'm going to put Green Bay in a bunch of teasers as well today, just for fun. I know that total's a little higher than traditionally what it's supposed to be, but anyway, I need a little bit more action. I only have 2 plays today, the Packers and the Dolphins. So glad to hear that you guys need both of those because it's a new month, John. October is always horrific for me. I've just started to look back and realize, like, why do I even bother in the month of October? I'm not sure.
I don't know why you do a lot of things. Why do you even bother? I mean, isn't it your job to
I think it might be. That's probably a very good point. Yeah, I mean, look, yesterday was awful in college football. Texas Tech gets the outright winner. I left them out of my parlay because I was like, oh man, it's gonna be tough to win the names, and everybody else just looked like, well, you know, the guy behind you. What happens after he eats a nice big meal? WagerTalk YouTube channel. I'm giving him the censored version. If you want the uncensored version of the show, go watch the Kelly and Murray show. John, anything you have to promote? -108 right now on NFL sides at the Westgate Superbook before I let you go.
All NFL sides here are -108, guys. 8-cent splits. Don't forget the Super Contest Reboot. That starts next week with week 10 of the NFL. So the deadline for that is next Saturday. Other than that, I just want Kelly to relax, and I want you to tell Susan I said happy birthday, and just let it come to you. Hopefully the Saints can win today, and we'll move on in Survivor, kid. Just relax.
Yeah, we're breaking every single one of my Survivor rules today. John and I, not only are we playing a divisional spot, but we were playing a team on the road. Listen, you got to zig sometimes when others zag. Go Raiders, go Colts, and we'll go from there. John Murray at Vegas Murray. You can catch us every single Thursday on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. You can also catch all of our clips at the Kelly and Murray Show and on WagerTalk on IG. Guys, appreciate you hanging out with us here through our technical difficulties. I think we've got it all worked out. So we're going to bring VR in. He's fresh off the steam room. So if some of you guys are carried over from there, we're going to get some of that same information that he gives us. We always appreciate him here on Sundays on Last Call. VR, I'm just going to do what I do every Sunday, and I'm just going to let you take the reins. Let's start off with those teasers.
Yeah, a lot going on, definitely with the Wong teasers. I waited till a little bit longer, Kelly, because these lines are going to move over the next 30 minutes. And if it doesn't fall under the Wong, it's not usable. I've explained it before. This will probably be one of the last times I do. I want the line to be as efficient as possible. I want to bet against the strongest possible line, the line that the casino believes is not beatable. That's the only line I want to tease. So I need to get as close to kickoff as possible, because if a line that's -2.5 now goes to a line that's -8.5 goes to 9 5 minutes before kickoff, it's not wongable anymore. So for me, I need it to be efficient. So the key is you're only going to tease 3 numbers up, 3 numbers down. You're going down from 8.5, 8, and 7.5, and going up from 1.5, 2, and 2.5. That's it. Those are the only things you're looking to do. No handicap matters. No matchup matters. Obviously, the lower the total, the stronger the bet. But that's the only thing you're looking for. And right now, real quickly, if this was kickoff, if we were kicking off in 5 minutes, these are the only sides I would be given in the steam room. You would be teasing the Cleveland Browns. You would be teasing the Cincinnati Bengals, the Chicago Bears, the Seattle Seahawks, the Green Bay Packers. There you go. And Philadelphia, we'd keep on hold because most of a lot of the books have 7 juice. That's not 7.5. 7 minus 10 minus 15 isn't 7.5. We get the minus 20, a little higher, then we talk 7.5. But right now, I could still get 7 minus 115 at circa. So I'm not going to tease the Philadelphia Eagles. That's the difference. Now, if it gets to 7.5, that's a different story if we get near kickoff. So that's what we're looking to want. I just shared them there right now. Now, real quickly, because we don't have much time and the steam room's waiting, I'm going to give you some of these props that came through. Drake May, under 4.5 carries. That came through like 5 different times. They're willing to bet it from under 115. The last one came in at minus 150. So from minus 115 all the way to minus 150, that this guy will not carry the ball 5 times. Isaiah Polamalu, under 6.5 tackles, good all the way up to minus 150 as well. And then Jerome Ford, under 26.5 and 27.5 rushing yards and under 6.5 carries. Those are some player props. Some team totals real quickly. Under 17.5 in the Patriots, under 28.5 in the Ravens, and under 13 in Detroit first half. Now let's get to some of these sides real quickly. Titans, got steamed. And also Patriots team total went under, so that looks good for the Tennessee Titans. Browns got steamed earlier in the week, but since then, after the key number got taken out, you saw a lot of sharp money come in on the Chargers. That's why that one's at 2 now instead of 1.5. Also over in that game, got hit about 40. Now you're looking at 42. Also got bet up. That's why we're looking at 42.5, 43 there. Move down to some other bets. Arizona on the money line got steamed. Packers plus 3.5. Another strong steam move. Atlanta keeps getting love. All one-sided action. Public and wise guys on the Atlanta Falcons. Arizona, another sharp side. I think I gave you that already. The Arizona side, I gave you the Green Bay side. That's pretty much it, man. I mean, Baltimore. Wise guys are on Baltimore. The public's taking the dog there. And finally, this one's going to be interesting. Carolina and New Orleans, another public versus square kind of situation. A lot of teasers on New Orleans. Definitely a bad bet. You do not want to tease New Orleans. Even if they only win the game between 1 and 7 points, it's just a terrible bet, but that's what everyone has. That is the number one teaser of the early slate. New Orleans just to get the win. If Carolina gets the money line win, that's going to eliminate pretty much 90+% of the live teasers going into the afternoon action. So you'll see new ones being opened up. So yeah, be careful about that New Orleans one. And kind of that same thing with that Buffalo Miami. They're teasing Buffalo. It's at 6. If you're not comfortable that they could cover the 6, what are they going to win by? Again, we know that the points don't really matter in most NFL games. Pick the winner. You're going to cover the spread. But they're teasing them. They're teasing New Orleans, Kel, and they're teasing Buffalo. And I got a feeling in my tummy that one of those money line dogs is going to come in there and ruin that afternoon for people. Because it just looks too easy.
I just hope it's not the Panthers ruining my afternoon, VR. At Greek_gambler. VR, before I let you go, I know you got to go back to the steam room. Tell me what you've got going on over at WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, I got a 5% going today in the NFL. 5-2 on those. Been real selective past last week, but I really like today's. And they nailed some team totals against us, so I like it. Setting up really nicely. And coming off a nice 7 days, nice 3 days. Still have some to make up for 2024. Got robbed on my 5%, I think, in UFC yesterday, but still number one in profit in MMA, having a great year. Just a lot. Great time with the holidays coming up too, Kelly. It's a good time to be on board. Head on over to the steam room. That's where I'm going right now, actually, do some damage.
Perfect. Head over to the steam room and check out VR for all of his premium clients. He gives out tons of last minute gold. Let's bring in the Prez. Prez hosted for me last Sunday, said, Cal, I want to come in and sit on the other side of the table. So he's going to answer all of your questions. I'm just going to sit back, relax. We've got 40 minutes to kick off, Prez. Tell me what your thoughts are on this NFL slate. Anything that didn't make your premium card over at WagerTalk?
Yeah, Tennessee didn't make my card. Now, though, it is -3.5, so I'm a little less likely to look at it. It was -3, and I did like Tennessee. That did not make my card. That was probably the play I liked best that didn't make my card. And also New Orleans first half. Kelly, Carolina 1-15 in their last 16 games in the first half, and like 11 of them were annihilation. So that also did not make my card, but a great trend nevertheless, and one definitely worth keeping up on. See if Carolina continues this trend of not being able to cover an ATS bet in the first half. Real pleasure doing this with you. Had a blast last week, Kelly, as well. It was so fun hosting the show and just not having Teddy jumping in all the time with his sour freaking face.
Oh, boy. If you don't watch Wager Talk Today with those two, they're like, I can't even explain it. It is funny to be objectively like both of you, not together, and then watch the show and be like, this is an absolute utter freight train every single day on the Wager Talk YouTube channel, weekday, Monday through Friday, 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Maybe Teddy, like, sometimes just hasn't had his coffee yet, Prez? You think that's what it is?
No, Kelly. And you haven't heard this state comment before, but I've said it on Wager Talk Today. Teddy is the only guy that cries during sex. It's not about coffee. It's just him. He's just a miserable man, and it's okay. But either way, the sun shines on you and I today, Kel. Really, I love doing this, and I got to say something really quick, and I'm going to talk about this on Wager Talk Today tomorrow. Kelly, you've been doing this for a long, long time, and you are a extremely successful bettor. In the last 2.5 years, I am 66% in NFL regular season ATS bets. 67% in 2.5 years. And I understand everybody when they buy picks, who's hot? Who's on an 11-1 run? Who's got a 5% play? Who cares when you got a guy that has done those kind of numbers for 2.5 years straight? I mean, one thing you can count on, my NFL ATS bets. I got 3 today for my clients, and I'm happy to go through the whole board and give out side plays on everything if you want.
Whoa, generous Prez today. Don't let Johnny hear that. But if you guys drop it in the comment section, press the like button, and are subscribed, Prez is going to give you guys his premium picks for today.
I'm not going to say which ones they are. I'm just, you ask a game, I'll give the pick out, whether it's a premium pick or not. I will hide nothing.
Okay. All right, James. Judy wants to know, what do you think of the Chargers today? Yeah. Let me see if I got the Wager Talk odds screen open and can get a current line. Pretty much 1.5, minus 125 if you like Chargers on the money line. Browns, you can get plus 110 if you like the Browns to win outright.
So, Kel, let's talk about the side real quick first. My initial reaction was to take the LA Chargers. This is a team that, although they're not dominating anybody, they're getting it done. And that's all that you can ask, especially when a line is minus 1.5. And really quick, we've done a lot of math on these minus 1.5 bets. If you have any NFL bet that's minus 2 or less, it's just under 3% better to take them on the money line. So, and that takes into account the juice. So it's 3% on top of the juice better to take an NFL play on the money line. It actually works the same in the NBA. So don't ever take minus 1.5 or minus 2 in any sport. Always look to bet the money line. My original thought was take the Chargers here. But, I feel like Cleveland might have galvanized themselves last week. They got rid of that prick. He's no longer on the team. He's probably getting a massage somewhere in Thailand where he's not going to get arrested. And now the team has come together. They won last week against Baltimore. They played good defensively finally. And I say finally because their defense has not played great this year. And that does worry me. I would bet the under in this game. And I know a lot of smart guys have been looking at the over, but I don't understand it here. I mean, you look at the LA Chargers, and this is a team that just doesn't score. And they hold teams down. And they go on these methodically long, slow-moving drives. Man, like a 42 in a Chargers game, that's the bet. I like under the total here. Oh, and also, Kel, no team has scored more than 20 points on the Chargers this year, which is incredible, an incredible statistic.
Very fun fact there by the Prez. JTU says he's a loyal listener. We appreciate him being here every single weekend, as well as all of you guys out there. If you have a question for Prez, drop it in. He wants to know, Atlanta, oh boy, John Murray said that probably their third biggest need would be the Cowboys, which is pretty much unheard of because we know what a public team the Cowboys are.
Yeah, I like the Cowboys here, Kelly, and this is one of those counterintuitive plays. You got a fat and happy Atlanta Falcons team, and let's say it the way it is. These sort of it is important for people to realize what setup games are, sandwich games are, letdown games are. This is one of those letdown spots for Atlanta. This Atlanta team just played, other than Seattle, they just played 4 division games out of 5. 4 division games out of 5. They seem to beat their division and can't beat anyone else. They go into Seattle, they put up 14 points. So, now we have a Cowboys team that is playing for their lives. And if you listen to what came out of the dressing room after the Cowboys game, I feel like they're not freaking out. I feel like there's calm. They might be getting some guys back. We won't know until the game starts. And we're getting more than a field goal here. There's 3.5s out there. I think the boys win this game straight up, Kel. I'd have no issue if someone takes them on the money line at plus 145. I think this is one of those really good spots to bet Dallas. And keep in mind, take a look at Dallas's schedule, everybody. I know people are like, oh, they suck, they stink. They have played probably the hardest schedule in football so far this year. This is almost like a breather game for them. I think this game will be close. I'll take a field goal and the points. And also, real quick, Cowboys have really played bad all year in stopping tight ends. Kittle last week, 6 catches for 128 yards. I would definitely look to Pitts in over receptions and yards.
All right. Little fun prop bet there from the Prez. Cards versus Bears. John Murray said this one had some really nice two-way action. On my list, I didn't have necessarily anything from VR other than the Bears fit a teaser spot. I did tease the Bears with the Packers, as I mentioned I was going to earlier in the program. Looks like a coin flip type game, man. The Cards got a nice win over Miami last week with Tua back under center there, Prez. I think that game could have went either way. I'll be fully honest. I didn't watch the whole thing. I had money elsewhere, but it was on kind of off screen or out of eye shot. What do you make of this Cards team? And then the Bears lose in that horrific. Stevenson's not even paying attention. That was just a debacle. So and a college team does that, you might be looking to bet against them the following week. Professional team, maybe not so much.
Well, I'm looking to bet against the Bears regardless, Kelly. And let's be clear here. Everybody talks about what a tough loss it was for the Chicago Bears. I think it would have been just as tough a loss for Washington had they not have gotten that Hail Mary. This Washington team doubled the yardage of Chicago last week. They completely dominated that football game. They marched up and down the field from start to finish, and they were held to field goals in the red zone. That's not something that is going to remain. And when you take a look at, this Chicago team, okay, way to go. Way to beat injured Rams team. Way to annihilate the Panthers. Way to beat the Jags. I mean, what have you done for us this year? You beat 3 of the shittiest teams in the league when the Rams at the time were one of the shittiest teams in the league. Their win against the Titans, that doesn't even count, Kel. It was a total fluke. Not one single touchdown by the offense. And this Arizona team, let's not forget, Kyler Murray led them to the playoffs not too many years ago. They found a really balanced offense last week when they finally started throwing the ball to Junior. And for some reason, this Arizona team is getting it done in close games. And you have one team that beat nobody and another team that went into San Francisco and beat them. You have another team that came back from from playing in Miami, down points, and beat them. Do I think this game is going to be close? Yes. Do I think Chicago Bears are worth putting in the Wong teaser? Absolutely. But only one of these teams has beat anybody of substance. Only one of these teams has a quarterback that's gone to the playoffs. And only one of these teams is getting it done. And that's the Arizona Cardinals. Somehow, some way, they are going to come out of this game with a victory and again take them on the money line.
I will take that for my regular season win total under. Oh, Prez.
Is that on Chicago?
Yeah. I need them to. I needed that loss after how I lost the Titans game to start off the year. I thought they might go over 8 wins, go under 9. I took under 8.5. Oh boy, I needed that.
So close.
I know. That's why I needed that coin flip to go my way.
So, but Kel, I'll tell you now, I'd rather hold that ticket than the over ticket because they've still got 2 Detroits,
Very
2
good point.
Green Bays, and 2 Vikings. They might have played one of those teams, but they've still got at least 5 games. I think
in the toughest division in football.
Yeah. I think you definitely are holding the more valuable ticket than holding the over.
I wish books would do like mid-season, like right now we're week 9, we're halfway through. Like, let's see what the second, like almost like kind of rework, because look at the Vikings. They've been surpassing everybody's expectations. The Lions look great. There's a couple other teams, Washington football, whatever they are surprised, just teams surpassing those expectations. So to see where they started with the perceptions back in July, all the way now, here we are in November. Guys, we're going to keep taking your questions for another 7 minutes, and then I got to go have brunch with my mom for her birthday. Joey Rice wants to know, are the Eagles a good survivor pick? Prez, right now the WagerTalk odds screen looks like 7, pretty much juiced. Your thoughts?
So I'm definitely not the guy to ask about survivor. I stink. But yes is the answer from my perspective. I mean, this Jags team, one of their 3 receivers playing, he's injured. They can't seem to get out of their own way. It almost feels to me now, without their top 2 wide receivers, that they have a built-in excuse and are just going to collapse. That's sort of how I'm looking at the Jags. I would not take Philadelphia minus 7.5 because I don't like minus 7.5s or 8.5s or 9.5s or anything, frankly, in that ballpark. But I gotta believe this Philadelphia team is going to get it done today. And let's be honest here, this Philadelphia team has turned their season around. And now that Brown and Smith are back, you look at a team and tell me what team in the league can stretch the field like this team with Smith. What team has such great slot receivers with Brown, the running game with Barkley, Brown as your red zone threat? I mean, this is a vicious offense.
All right. I don't really trust this Jaguars team. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'm not laying it with Philadelphia. I know John said they're going to need the Jags. And let's put it in this way. He said they had needs of Cowboys, Giants, Dolphins, Green Bay, Jaguars. And I had already bet the Dolphins and Green Bay. I bet the Cowboys and the lowly Giants. While you were talking, guess who I didn't bet? I did not bet the Jaguars. I don't trust that team. They're just a team that I have not gotten a good read on all season long. As far as Survivor goes, man, that's tough. I used them in Survivor versus the Browns, and it was a sweat that I didn't think I deserved. Theo Green, coming in on the WagerTalk YouTube channel, wants to know what you think about the side in total in the Sunday night game there, Prez.
Yeah, way to flex the television and not put Detroit and Green Bay on. I mean, wow, we had an opportunity to see a masterpiece on Sunday night, and instead we get this piece of poop. Minus 5.5 of Minnesota, over and under 47. And honestly, my original thoughts was let's take Minnesota when I thought Richardson was going to play. Obviously, the line agreed with me once Flacco was announced. It was bet down, and I understand that. I think Indianapolis and the over is the way to go in this game, and I prefer the over here. But the bottom line really is this Minnesota team is overrated. And although they've started out 5-2, they've had some collapses already. Even games that they won, they weren't able to put full 60 minutes together. There's way too many points. I would take Indy and the over in this game. But I mean, I'm not like madly in love with any of it.
Yeah, I find it very interesting. The line didn't really fluctuate at all, considering they moved from Anthony Richardson to Joe Flacco. I was on the Colts last weekend as my best bet from Bet on It, and very happy to be able to cash that ticket. They looked awful on multiple occasions. Titan CT wants to know, Prez, could the Giants shock the world today?
Yes. Kel, you look at this Giants team and it's fascinating to me because this is a team that is 2-6 and they kept, and it's not like they're close. I mean, they lost 26-18 to Pittsburgh, 28-3 to Philly, 70-7 to Cincinnati. It's not like they're losing heartbreaking, Hail Mary games. But if you watch the games, they have moments of really good ball. Firstly, their defense is outstanding. Their front seven is incredible. Their front four is aggressive as hell. They're going to live in the backfield. The problem they face is they face an extremely mobile quarterback who might be able to escape their insanely good pass rush. Daniel Jones is not nearly as bad as everybody thinks he is. That interception last week was horrible. The fumble was not his fault. The Giants' offensive line totally let him down. And that's where I think we'll find the handicap in this game, is that I don't think Washington's front seven is going to be able to take advantage of the New York Giants' offensive line woes like Pittsburgh or Philadelphia or Cincinnati. I think Washington's defense, although has gotten better for sure. I mean, they held Chicago to 15, Carolina to 7. I just feel like they're not going to be able to get all over Jones like most other teams can. It'll give him some time. And we've seen Jones play well, man. Do I think they upset Washington? I wouldn't take them on the money line, but I would definitely lean towards the Giants at +4. And I think the Giants at +4 is the right bet, regardless of outcome.
Don't worry, Prez. I took the Giants on the money line for you. Just a little sprinkle, just a tiny bit, just for some entertainment here on this wonderful Sunday.
Are you making those as straight bets, Kel, or are you parlaying them?
No, I made them as straight bets.
You are.
So I did Cowboys against the spread, Giants against the spread, Dolphins against the spread, Green Bay against the spread, and then I did all three individual money lines, and then I did $100 parlay. I just put it in over at the Hard Rock, just for fun.
So what I'm hearing is, as the only female in this group, you have the biggest balls out of everybody.
Yeah, or I have the most degenerate tendencies. I guess it just depends on how you look at it. All right, Prez, before we get to Omar's question, what do you have to promote over at WagerTalk.com? And then we'll take Omar's question. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, and of course, every single Saturday and Sunday, come join us in the chat, and we'll try to get your questions answered.
Yeah, so I've got a really big card today. Out of the blue, I came up with 6 NFL bets for my clients. 3 of them are ATS bets. And like I mentioned, Kelly, my ATS record is absurd over the last 2.5 years. I mean, 67%. It's massive. I also have 2 4% plays. I'm on a 66% run in those. Had a great day yesterday with my clients around the board. Yeah, so 6 plays, 4 of them go late, 2 early, and that's it really. Excited about, basketball and hockey and everything else that's going on. This is just a great time of the year to be a professional bettor.
Yeah, this is really exciting. Things are starting to ramp up. Omar Chavez wants to know, are you going against the Lions today, Prez? And the Packers are my best bet from Bet on It, but I'll let you have the floor.
Listen, Kel, I understand why you would bet the Packers, and it makes sense. It's one of those, like, why are you betting the Cowboys or why are you betting the Giants? So with that said, Green Bay is a good football team. I mean, 6-2 record. They were good last year. I think, and they have a better defense than Detroit. Kelly, this is Detroit's year. They're going to win this game. They're going to win the division, and they're going to win the Super Bowl. This is just their year. And the one thing, we talked about this last week on this very show, somebody asked, hey, Prez, is this a bad spot? Boxers, is this a bad spot for Detroit? Detroit, under Dan Campbell, they're 49-12 against the 49-18, I think, against the spread. I mean, why would anyone ever bet against a Dan Campbell-led team? This guy is a world-class motivator. I am not stepping in front of the Lions, especially on a super short number. They already went to Minnesota and whooped them. Yeah, no, I like Detroit here, and especially after all you wise, smart geniuses bet it to where I can now get it on the money line or -2.5.
All right. On that note, go Pack, go. Sorry, Prez. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, I'll lose a play. It's okay.
I don't disagree with you about this team winning their division and subsequently probably going to the Super Bowl. I do think that this is the best version of the Lions team we've seen in a very long time. I just think that Green Bay gets the best of them today outside, even though it's not cold enough to really matter. He is the Press. You can catch him every single weekday here, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on WagerTalk today with Teddy Covers. Those guys are a real treat if you haven't got a chance to catch that show. And I'm off for the next 2 days. I'm going to go enjoy myself. Let's cash some tickets on this beautiful Sunday. We'll be back Wednesday with Bet on It with VR, Marco, Joe, Teddy, Ralph, and Andy to go over that week's NFL slate. We'll see you then.